Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And so in this video, we'll be talking about the COBB Flex Fuel sensor and one of the issues I've been having with it for, I think, about a year now. So this first started last summer, and this was right the morning of a open lap day at PPIR. I stopped at the gas station to fill up with some E85, and I go to start the car. Next thing you know, it is throwing like an check engine light and a flashing cruise control light. So I check it with the access port. It says ethanol sensor, low voltage, and I kind of go and look that up online, start googling stuff, and some people were making it seem like it's like a defective part, so they sent it back to COBB and they gave them a new one, which I don't have time for that because this is the morning of a track day and I'm trying to go out there and have some fun. So I keep searching, and a couple other people start saying that it's something related to the heat because it keeps happening when it's a really hot day or something. So I went with that, and I try to cool off the module by popping the hood and pouring a little bit of water around the module, and it kind of cooled it off enough, I believe. And when I cleared the code and started the car, it was fine, and it started reading the ethanol just fine. So that was kind of like my temporary fix right there for it. And then it happened again at grid life, right before I actually had to go on grid. So I had to get an ice cube and let it sit on there and cool it down. Do the same thing, reset the code and start the car, and then it was good to go. And then now, for these last 5 days, I've been experiencing this whole issue again, and it's because the heat, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and try to solve that issue by moving the actual sensor from the manifold to a different location, because, you know, with it sitting on that manifold, the heat radiating from the engine is pretty much cooking that brain or the sensor, and then it being mounted to that manifold is kind of conducting heat, so the heat is being transferred through the manifold to the sensor and cooking it. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to go to the garage and move it to a different location. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so we are here in the garage, and here's the car. Here's the flex fuel sensor. I've tried to do things in the past to try to eliminate this heat, but I think the heat from this charge pipe a little bit, and of course it's sitting right above the motor, is causing all the heat to just fry this brain. So I'm actually going to relocate this, take this off of here and move it somewhere else, where we can actually not have to deal with that issue anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up somewhere where you guys can still see me doing something. So lefty loosey. Damn, this thing's on there. There we go. Okay. I'm using like a bike tool. This thing's actually pretty convenient when it comes to these freaking bolts. Okay. Move that, and then I'm gonna have to fish this somewhere. I'm just hoping I can find an area where I can actually mount this. I'm just gonna zip tie it somewhere. I'm thinking like over here near the closer to the battery, where it's not gonna get as fried. Hopefully I don't have to cut any more zip ties or anything. I might have to cut just a few. That doesn't look bad right there. Move it away from the heat source. I don't know if you guys can see, but so I moved it from here, went under here, and I'm probably gonna move it like somewhere off to this side over here where I know it's not gonna get as much heat for now, just because I know there's at least some type of bracket or something they can kind of go by. Not like, and it's just gonna be crudely zip tied because there's not gonna be a bolt or anything I could really get this stuff onto, you know what I mean? This actually wouldn't be bad, like right here on this little plastic clip that this hose used to be on. That actually might be pretty good. Like I said, it's going to be very crude, the ghetto way of mounting something, but it will stop these issues that we're having. Especially if you go to High Plains on Saturday, I just see this thing starting to have these issues out at the paddock, depending on what time our session happens, and us dealing with the same crap again. Or me dealing with the same crap, not y'all. That didn't work where I wanted to mount that. I'm gonna have to scoot it a little bit more. Wish I could just create some little mount for it to mount right there, like nicely. And I kind of can actually right here to wrap around it, and then just have for sure something under there. Go right there. That might work. You guys see? This is kind of ghetto, but you see where I mounted it. It's through this weird little plastic. There's a slit. I put the zip tie through that slit, back out, and then it comes up and wraps around this and kind of holds it in place. I'm also going to put another zip tie off to the sides, like around, going around this way to hold it as well. Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully these are good enough clips to actually upload this as some kind of video. It would be a very short one anyway. But here is the location now. So basically when you install the flex fuel kit, I brought down this fuel line to the second clip at the bottom instead of being up top right here. And so this up top one is empty. And there's a slight a slant. Let me try to use my phone to give you guys some light. So there is a slant, if you can see it. And what I did is I slid this under. The zip tie goes like this way around, then down, then under, and it comes up right here and wraps around it this way. And then from this side, as you guys can see, this thing is like not focused at all, but it goes this way against this plastic part. So this plastic part is kind of up against this, and it wraps around and then goes underneath the one that's already going this way, and then right here, and just so it's holding it around, or I mean this way and around, kind of like a, you know, like a bow on a present or something. But yeah. That is really it for this slight improvement. If you're wondering why I have these little things like this, I like to protect the fuel line right here because this pipe is kind of up against the fuel line, and this kind of helps with some of the heat and it not just like resting here like frying this line or anything like that, or any kind of chafing or anything. Same thing on this side to protect those lines. But yeah. Do need to bleed the brakes. I'm gonna have to probably do that with Trey because look how dirty that brake fluid is. You can see how dark it is. Super dark, and the fluid level has dropped a lot. And that's not because I'm losing fluid or anything. That's just because the pads have worn out that far down. And if you guys don't know that, your fluid level will start to go down because of the material of the pad is shrink too. So it's more fluid to go to the piston to, you know, push it to meet the surface of the rotor. So that's kind of happening right now, but I still usually will top that off. Once I start seeing it getting low like that, I'll continuously top it off. But yeah. Hey guys, so yeah, we're done moving the module and everything. I had to film this clip because I kind of abruptly stopped that video. So The next video I should be releasing will be one of the SCCA time trials event on Sunday, and I will try to not only get in-car footage, but paddock footage, along with some walk-arounds of some of my friends' cars, so you guys can see some of the cool cars out there and things like that, and maybe like some short little interviews and stuff so they can tell us about their cars. Other than that, I could maybe have another video because I mentioned something about my brakes. I am going to change out the fluid because the fluid is pretty damn dark or dirty. So I don't know if I will make a video out of that before Sunday or anything, but just stay tuned, I guess, and I'll see you guys next time.